What I saw made my heart stop for a moment. Kevin was lying on his bed, phone in one hand, eyes half closed, breathing heavily. There were videos on the screen that were clearly not meant for anyone else to see. His other hand was I never imagined that walking into Kevin's house that afternoon would change everything between us. I'm Grace, 21. The girl who grew up next door in our quiet suburban neighborhood in California. Ever since we were little, Kevin's parents treated me like their own daughter. They even started calling me their spoiled daughter, and Kevin became my ally brother. We called each other brother in front of everyone, laughed together, fought like siblings, and told all our secrets. Everyone in the neighborhood thought we were real siblings. But that day, something changed forever. I had come home early from community college, because my afternoon class had been canceled. Kevin's parents were out of town for a family wedding and wouldn't be back until the evening. I had an extra key as usual, so I let myself in to surprise him and maybe study together. The house was silent except for a faint sound coming from his bedroom. I opened the door without knocking, as I had done 1,000 times before. What I saw made my heart stop for a moment. Kevin was lying on his bed, phone in one hand, eyes half closed, breathing heavily. There were videos on the screen that were clearly not meant for anyone else to see. His other hand was moving slowly under the blanket in a very private way. His face was moist, his lips parted slightly, completely lost in the moment. He looked so vulnerable and intense at the same time. The second my shoes clicked on the hardwood floor, his eyes fluttered open. He jerked upright, the phone splattered across the floor, blankets flying everywhere. Grace, when did you get here? Get out, please! His voice cracked in panic. I stood frozen in the doorway. My cheeks burned. Part of me wanted to run. Part of me felt ashamed for him. But another part, something I couldn't explain, felt a strange heat spreading through my chest. I'd heard girls in college talk about their boyfriends, about how it felt when someone touched them, about the rush and the closeness. I'd never had a boyfriend. I was the good girl next door. But seeing Kevin like that, it stirred something deep inside me that I hadn't even known was there. Instead of leaving, I closed the door behind me. Kevin, you don't have to hide anything from me. We've never hidden anything from each other. He sat there, his head bowed, his hands shaking. Grace, please. This is so embarrassing. Just go. I was alone. The house was empty. It just happens sometimes. Don't tell Mom and Dad, they'll lose their minds. I moved closer and sat on the edge of the bed. My voice was softer than I expected. I'm not going to tell anyone. But I'm lonely too. College girls talk about their boyfriends all the time. About how it feels to have him, to be wanted. I've never felt that way. And you're the only man I've ever been this close to. You're my ally, but you're my best friend. If you need it, maybe I need peace too. He looked up, startled. Grace, what are you saying? That's wrong. We grew up calling each other brother and sister. Everyone thinks of us that way. I know what everyone thinks, I whispered. But right now, in this room, it's just us. No one else is in the house. No one needs to know. He swallowed hard. I could see the conflict in his eyes, fear, guilt, and something else. The same spark I was feeling. After a long silence, he finally said, if we do this, it can only happen once, never again. And we do it slowly. Promise me. I nodded, heart pounding. Just once. I promise. We moved closer. He reached out hesitantly first, his hand brushing my cheek as if he was afraid I would disappear. I leaned in and our lips met, soft at first, then deeper, more urgent. It felt like all the years of being brother and sister had melted into that one kiss. His hands were trembling as he slid down my waist. I could feel his heart beating against mine, fast and restless, just like mine. We didn't rush. We explored slowly, exploring each other with soft touches and whispered words. The way he looked at me, as if I were the most beautiful thing he had ever seen, made me feel things I had only dreamed of. When we finally came together that afternoon, it was soft and passionate, not rushed or rough. There was a moment of awkwardness because it was my first time, but Kevin stopped immediately, held me close and waited for me to play a cricket match. After that, everything felt warm and right. We held each other later, breathing together, stunned by what we had just shared. We quickly straightened up the room and sat on the couch as if nothing had happened. Textbooks open, pretending to study. When her parents came home that night, they sat there smiling at us, like good siblings. They had no idea that their sworn daughter and son had just crossed a line that could never be crossed. The next few days were torture and paradise at the same time. Every time our eyes met at the dinner table or in the hallway, we felt this secret pull. We tried to stay away. We really did. But the house felt empty again a few evenings later when her parents had gone out to dinner for work. I knocked on her door. She opened it, already breathing heavily. "Grace, we only said it once," he whispered. But she didn't back down. "I know," I said, stepping inside and closing the door behind me. "But I can't stop thinking about you, and I know you feel the same way." This time it was different. More confident, more passionate. We walked together like we had practiced it in our dreams. The joy was deep, the connection strong. Afterward, sitting next to each other, he ran his hand through my hair and said quietly, "This is dangerous, Grace. If anyone found out, our family, our neighbors, it would destroy everything." "I know," I whispered back, "but I don't regret it. Not a bit." We promised again that this would be the last time. We lasted 4 whole days. Then another afternoon when his parents were at a wedding. Then a late night when everyone was asleep. Each time we told ourselves, this is the last one. And each time the bond grew stronger. We became experts at stealing moments. Quick, cryptic texts in the hallway that said it all without saying anything. Long hugs that lasted only a second when no one was looking. One evening his mother smiled at me and said, "You two have been spending a lot of time together lately. It's great how close you've become." I smiled back, but my stomach turned. Did she suspect? We started to be more cautious. Then came the night that almost ended everything. We were in his room, completely alone and talking about playing a cricket match, whispering each other's names, when we heard a soft knock on the door. His mother's voice, "Kevin? Grace, are you both awake yet?" I made tea. We froze. My heart was beating so hard I thought she could hear. "We're watching a movie right now, Auntie," I called, my voice shaking. She paused, then said, "Okay, don't be too long." Her steps slowed. We looked at each other, scared and excited at the same time. This was our warning. The next morning we sat in our backyard, far from the houses, and made the hardest promise of all. "We have to stop," Kevin said, taking my hand. "I love you, Grace. Not just as a sworn sister. But we can't risk everything. Our family trusts us. The whole neighborhood sees us as brothers and sisters. If this gets out..." Tears welled up in my eyes. "I love you too, more than I ever thought possible. But you're right. This has to end." We hugged for a long time, both of us crying silently. Then we went back inside like the sworn brother and sister everyone expected us to be. Life went back to normal outside. We studied together, joked at family dinners, helped each other with college assignments. But inside we carried a beautiful, painful secret. Every time I heard his parents' bedroom door close at night and the soft voices, that meant they were sharing their private moments. I smiled sadly. Everyone in that house had secrets. Ours was just deep. Sometimes, late at night, I still lie awake thinking about the way he looked at me, the way his hands felt, the way our hearts beat in perfect harmony. I know we did the right thing by stopping. But I also know that the love we found on those stolen afternoons will always be with me. My sworn brother, my secret partner, the boy who became everything to me, and no one will ever know. I sometimes think that Kevin and I should become each other's life partners, and always be together. Dear friends, how did you like today's story? Be sure to tell us in the comments, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.